Welcome to the very first Bobcast, coming from my home studio here in Forest Lake, Minnesota. Today's program, the 7 last words of Christ. What and why, you might ask? The why needs a little bit of explaining. On January of 2015, I was diagnosed with leukemia. It was a severe case that without treatment gave me only 3 months to live. I was taken by ambulance to the University of Minnesota and immediately started chemotherapy. I had several rounds of chemo, by infusion, by port, by IV, and by mouth. At that time, I spent 80 days in the hospital, and in the process of the chemo and the radiation, I lost the use of my hands, of my voice, and my hearing. But by a miracle of God and a successful stem cell transplant, I am gradually being restored. My recuperation therapies consist of the Bible and my music. This work is a product of those therapies. The 7 last words of Christ is a song cycle that sets to music the 7 last words of Christ as he died on the cross at Calvary. But it is much more than that. It is my tribute to the Lord for all that he has done for me. And so, the 7 last words of Christ. The text for the first song comes from Luke, chapter 23, verse 34. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. The context of this verse is as Jesus hung, dying on the cross, he looked down on the soldiers that were casting lots for his cloak. These were the same soldiers who had whipped him, pierced him with thorns, plucked his beard, spit in his face, nailed his hands and feet, while they tortured and taunted him. Yet he was still willing to forgive them. I believe the message for us is how important it is for us to be able to forgive not only those who love and forgive us, but even those who don't. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. No, they didn't know when they crucified you. Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. The Lamb of God offered for me and you. You could have stormed the heavens and come down from that cross, but you obeyed your Father, gave up your life for us. So Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. No, they didn't know when they crucified you. Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. The Lamb of God offered for me and you. But death could not hold you. You rose up that third day. A light shine through the heavens to show us all the way. Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. No, they didn't know when they crucified you. Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. The Lamb of God offered for me and you.
The text for the second song comes from John, chapter 19, verse 26. Son at your mother, mother your son. The context for this verse is, watching Jesus' suffering at a short distance away were Jesus' mother Mary and his beloved apostle John, both of them heartbroken and moved to tears. From his cross, Jesus pitied them and encouraged them to support and to hold on to each other, especially in his absence. The message for us is how important it is for all of us to support each other in our life's journeys, to always be there for each other in fellowship and in prayer. Son at your mother, mother your son.
Son at your mother, mother your son. He said from his cross unto Mary and John. Son at your mother, mother your son. Son at your mother, mother your son. Tears on the face are slowly rolling down. Son at your mother, mother your son. They couldn't stand to see him this way, battered and bruised, life slipping away. They held to each other through the tears and the pain. Son at your mother, mother your son. He said from his cross unto Mary and John. Son at your mother, mother your son. Son at your mother, mother your son. Tears on the face are slowly rolling down. Son at your mother, mother your son. But he wouldn't leave them without a plan. Mother of God, no mother of man. Hold on to each other till I come again. Son at your mother, mother your son. He said from his cross unto Mary and John. Son at your mother, mother your son. Son at your mother, mother your son. Tears on the face are slowly rolling down. Son at your mother, mother your son.
The text for the next song comes from Luke, chapter 23, verse 43. I assure you, this day you'll be with me in paradise. The context of this verse is, while Jesus hung on the cross, there were two other crosses, one to his left and the other to his right. These were the crosses of two criminals that were also being condemned along with Jesus. While one of these criminals was taunting Jesus, the other, named Dismas, asked Jesus to remember him when Jesus came into his kingdom. Jesus assured him that he would. The message for us is, if Jesus was willing to forgive a condemned criminal for his transgressions, what hope there is for us with such a forgiving Lord? I assure you, this day you'll be with me in paradise.
I assure you, this very day you'll be with me in paradise.
The text for the fourth song comes from Mark chapter 15, verse 34. Father, why have you forsaken me? The text of this verse is, Jesus accepted his cross to take on all of the sins of man, past, present, and future. And the price of all of those sins was the tremendous and unimaginable pain and suffering that he endured for them. So ugly was the sin and so horrible the pain, it seemed that even his Father in heaven could not bear to look down upon it all. Yet, Jesus persisted. The message for us? We all have struggles and dark days in our lives too. But Jesus has shown us how important it is for us to carry on in spite of it all. To carry on, just like Jesus did, to win the ultimate victory. Father, why have you forsaken me?
Father, why have you forsaken me? Father, why have you forsaken me? They pierced my hands and my feet. They numbered all of my bones. They cast lots for my vesture. I'm naked and all alone. Father, why have you forsaken me? Father, why have you forsaken me? They tortured and they taunted and had their way with me. Look, the King of the Jews, he's hanging from a tree. Father, why have you forsaken me? 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 Father, why have you forsaken me?
The text for the fifth song comes from John, chapter 19, verse 28. I thirst. The background of this verse: there are a few places in the scriptures that refer to Jesus' words on the cross, I thirst. One of them comes from Psalm 63. My soul thirsts and my flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land. And another comes from Psalm 69, which reads, they gave me gall for my meat and vinegar for my drink in my thirst. When Jesus uttered those two words, he set into motion a scenario that fulfilled those prophecies. The message for us? In our faith, we can be confident that Jesus is faithful in all things. As faithful as he was to fulfill every Bible prophecy concerning him, even a simple two-worded one, I thirst.
I thirst, two words I heard. a heavenly verse. I thirst. 2 words I heard, a heavenly verse. The prophecy was now fulfilled. Father, now I have done your will. Yeah, it is accomplished, every ancient promise. I thirst. 2 words I heard, a heavenly verse. I thirst. 2 words I heard, a heavenly verse. I thirst. 2 words I heard, a heavenly verse. I thirst. 2 words I heard, a heavenly verse. I thirst. 2 words I heard, a heavenly verse. I thirst. 2 words.
The text for the sixth song comes from John, chapter 19, verse 30. It is finished. The context of this verse: as Jesus was nearing the end of his life on the cross, he had accomplished all that he had come to do, to shed his blood and die a horrible death to save us from our sins, to heal us by his stripes and by his suffering, and to fulfill the scriptures and to do the will of his Father. He had accomplished it all. The message for us: we all have our own life's missions to fulfill. Psalm 90 reminds us to number each of our days in doing the work that the Lord has for us, to be faithful and diligent in it all, just as Jesus was, so that on our last day, we too can say, it is finished, it is done.
He said to his Father, let thy will be done. Then gave up his life, the obedient son. He knew the battle not easily won. He said to his Father, let thy will be done. It is finished, it is done. Father's only begotten Son did his will now, the battle's won. It is finished, it is done. It is done. All of the prophecies he had fulfilled, he suffered and died for us of his free will. All of his love and his blood it was spilled. He suffered and died for us of his free will. It is finished, it is done. Father's only begotten Son did his will now, the battle's won. It is finished, it is done. It is done.
The text for the seventh and the last song comes from Luke, chapter 23, verse 46. Into your hands I commend my spirit. The context of this verse is: As Jesus' long suffering on the cross was nearing its end, with his very last breath, he gave up his spirit with the words, "Father, into your hands I commend my spirit." With that, his earthly mission was accomplished. He gave up his life for the salvation of all mankind. And though his earthly body was entombed, we all know it happened just 3 days later. He was resurrected, just as he had promised. The message for us: if we believe that Jesus was the Son of God, that he was born of the Virgin Mary, that he died on the cross, that he rose from the dead, and that he is coming back again, we too, with our last breath, will be able to say, "Into your hands I commend my spirit, into the loving hands of the Lord."
Supper with my apostles, off to Gethsemane, prayed in the olive garden. Here come the Pharisees, a mock trial to where I was led. The sentencing by Herod, suffered my 40 lashes, a crown of thorns on my head. Into your hands I commend my spirit, into your hands right where it began. Into your hands I commend my spirit, right back to where it began. Into your hands. Carried that cross to Skull Place, falling down on my knees. Lay me down when I got there, nailing my hands and feet. Storm in the heavens, feel the earth move. Darkness at midday, opening tombs. With my last breath, it's all done. My spirit returns to you. Into your hands I commend my spirit, into your hands right where it began. Into your hands I commend my spirit, right back to where it began. Into your hands. Into your hands I commend my spirit, into your hands right where it began. Into your hands I commend my spirit, right back to where it began. Into your hands. Into your hands.
And so, this completes the song cycle, the 7 last words of Christ. I hope that you've found my story and this work in some way inspirational. And if you have, there will be other works yet to come that I hope you'll be able to join me for. Until then, God bless, and remember the 7 last words of Christ.
It is done.